Well, the final results from England's latest local election show a dramatic political upheaval. We are going to be discussing what's happened over the last 48 hours, and as I said, I do have a feeling that many of you guys that are watching will be very, very happy with the outcome of the local elections, particularly the fact that the uniparties are getting destroyed and reform are surging. We're also going to be watching and reacting to a panicked Keir Starmer glitch out in a disaster live television interview after his defeat, and he's asked whether he is a coward after Nigel Farage said he was. As stated, guys, there's a lot to get through, but first please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more British content. So as stated, guys, Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, has surged to a historic breakthrough, winning control of 10 out of 23 councils and securing 677 councillors, the most of any party. Most of these gains came at the expense of the Conservatives, who lost control of every county council they were defending and shed 676 seats in total. Reform flipped 8 long-held Tory councils and also made gains from Labour and previously hung councils, becoming the largest party in key counties like Cornwall, Leicestershire, Warwickshire and Worcestershire. However, they struggled in places like Buckinghamshire and Liberal Democrat strongholds such as Cambridgeshire and Oxfordshire. The Lib Dems were the other major winners, gaining 370 seats and taking control of becoming the largest party in several counties, including Shropshire and Devon. Labour, despite narrowly winning some, took a significant hit, dropping from 285 seats to just 99. They held on to the mayoral position in Doncaster, North Tyneside and the west of England, but were closely trailed by Reform. Meanwhile, independent candidates lost 20 seats and the Green Party made modest gains with an extra 45 councillors. Overall, this election marks a watershed moment for Reform UK, signalling a powerful rejection of both Labour and the Conservatives by a large section of the electorate. So yeah, good news, I suppose, of course, for Reform, and this is certainly just the beginning, but this is now showing that they are a real party, and you don't really want to mess with them. Obviously, Nigel Farage was happy yesterday and actually called Keir Starmer a coward in a TV interview. I'll show you that clip. But then we're going to go into Keir Starmer's response as he glitches out and, again, doesn't answer any questions that are put towards him. But he looks panicked. He is panicking badly at the results. But he probably won't show you that is the case. But have a watch of Nigel Farage, then we'll go into Keir Starmer.
So just finally, you were here yesterday. Labour have thrown everything at this. Pretty much everybody has been up here, but not the Prime Minister. Why do you think that is?
Because he's a coward. He doesn't lead from the front. You know, I mean, he obviously feared they might lose, therefore he didn't come. I knocked on doors for 8 hours today, and I would have been here in this hall with our candidate, regardless whether we'd won or lost by 6 votes. And somehow with Keir Starmer, who, by the way, is a perfectly decent human being, but somehow with Keir Starmer, it's caution, 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 and no one really knows quite what he actually believes.
And just finally, how many of the mayoralties do you think you're going to win? 2, 3?
Well, we've just lost 2 by an absolute cigarette paper in North Tyneside and in Doncaster. We're winning in Lincolnshire, and we will win in Hull, probably by quite a big margin.
Now have a listen to Keir Starmer as he's asked about this interview. He never actually answered the question. He glitches out and starts rambling on about going further and faster and all of these kind of things. But the British people are not buying what he's saying. Have a watch.
Nigel Farage, I'm afraid, says you're a coward for not campaigning in Runcorn. Are you a coward?
Look, the results are disappointing, and I could stand here and say to you, opposition parties always do well in by-elections like this. It was very close in Runcorn, etc., etc. What I want to say is my response is we get it, and we were elected in last year to bring about change. That's what people desperately want. We started that work. The NHS waiting lists are down. Wages are up more than prices. Interest rates are down. But the message from these results, I think, is go further, go faster. That chimes with what I want to do, and that's what I take out of this. And I'm determined that we will go further and faster on the change that people want to see.
6 votes, so you could have won it.
Well, it was very, very close, but I'm not going to stand here and just say it was close. In the end, it's a binary outcome. You either win or you don't win. The question is how. And so I'm not going to respond by simply saying it was close. I want a better response than that, which is to say, I get it. I do know that change is needed. We are making that change. We need to go further and faster. I've been saying this for a number of weeks. This reinforces my determination that we'll deliver the change that people want across the country.
Well, he looks panicked, but I would give a bit of advice for Keir Starmer before, of course, what he needs to do to go further and faster. Firstly, answer some questions, stop gaslighting the British public, stop labelling half the country as far right, apologise for your response to Southport, stop giving away our money to other countries, reverse the farmers' tax, reinstate the winter fuel allowance, reverse the VAT increase, cancel net zero and blocking the sun, cancel the Chagos deal, leave the ECHR, stop jailing people for Facebook posts while letting paedophiles walk free, do not build on the Greenbelt land, stop taxing us into oblivion, and apologise for lying about freezing bills. And also admit you've disrespected and betrayed the British public and apologise. This would probably go a bit further in trying to get him there further and faster. But again, he doesn't even answer the question. Does that mean he is a coward? Does that mean we can take away from that interview that he is a coward? Again, he didn't show up. And I know the Prime Minister's role, of course, they don't necessarily cut about in do sort of by-elections, of course, but look, he wasn't there when everything was announced in terms of the results and all of these kind of things, and he hasn't really done anything towards it. But it's great to see that the British public are showing that they do not trust this Labour government. There's a lot of people that, well, as I say, a lot of people, there was a ton of people, 10 million, that voted for Labour, of course, 10 months ago, and you're already starting to see the real effects now in these local elections of just how far they're falling and failing. And I can see the panic in Keir Starmer's eyes, because at first he would make those political party statements and jibes towards reform and say, oh, your political party can't even fit in the back of it, or can just only fit in the back of a London taxi. But this would have to be a wake-up call, and he's going to be talking about going further and faster. I dread to think what he's got planned and up his sleeve over the next couple of years, but certainly they are panicked. Labour are panicked, and I certainly see from this, Reform will probably be the next party in leadership by 2028, 2029, and Nigel Farage will most likely be the new Prime Minister of the country by then. It's crazy. And this is just 10 months, troops. This is just 10 months. But guys, do let me know your thoughts on the interview down there in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the results in the local elections. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.